Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to see how to create IAM users and IAM user groups. Okay, so IAM is one of the most important services in AWS, which is used to grant and manage accesses for different users who are going to use the AWS account. Okay, so I'm logged into my AWS account and open the AWS Management Console. Let's go to IAM console. So you can click on IAM here, or if you can search for IAM here. So I'm just going to click it here. So I'm in my identity and access management IAM console. So if you see, you can see user groups, users, roles, and policies over here. Okay, so in some other video, I'm going to talk in detail about roles and policies as well. So in this video, let's see how to create an IAM user. Okay, so IAM user is anybody like who is going to log in to an AWS account and access certain services and do certain actions on AWS services. Okay, so user groups is basically a group of users with certain access. So whenever you create an user, you need to add them to user group. So first, let's go here and create an user group. Okay, so if you come here, you can create any user group. So let's say you want to create a group called let's say developers. Okay, so you want to onboard some developers into your team and grant certain accesses to them, so you can create an IAM user group called developers here. And if you have any users to add to the group, you can click here and add them to the group. So we will create an IAM user later and add them to this group. Okay, so for now we will leave this, and you can add the permissions that you want this group to have. So whatever the permissions that you select here, the policies, so these accesses will be granted to any user that you add to this user group. Okay, so let's assume, like, I want to give my users only access to S3. Okay, so if I just search for S3 here and click on enter. So you can see, like, Amazon S3 full access, read only access. So any access that you want to give. And so these are all your AWS managed policies. If you want, you can create your own policy as well and define like certain accesses that you want to give. So all those, creating those custom policies and all, we will be talking in a different video. So for now, let's say, we want to give Amazon S3 full access to this group of users. Okay, and let's assume we also want to give access to let's say EC2 as well. Okay, you can search for EC2 here, and okay, I'm going to remove S3 here. So you can give them Amazon EC2 full access as well. So whoever user you add to this user group called developers will be having access to EC2 and S3. Okay, now I'm going to click on create group here. Okay, so if you see now, the permissions are defined and it's saying like this. So if you click on this one, you can see the permissions that you have given to this group: Amazon EC2 full access and S3 full access. Okay, so now you have defined an user group called developers. Okay, now if you want to add an user to this developer group, you can click on users here and click on add users, and you can give any username that you want. Okay, so let's say we want to give a name called Jayaprakash. Okay, and so there are two types of access that you can give just a programmatic access. So when you give programmatic access, the user will be only able to access your AWS through SDK, Boto 3 or AWS CLI. But if you also give the console access, he will be able to log into your AWS account and do any operation. So if you want to give console access, you can also give the console access, and you can uh, select the auto generated password. So you can give custom password as well if you want, but we will just let it be the auto generated password. So after you add this user, you will get an email saying, asking him to set up an new password for him. Okay, so yeah, if you want to give the console access to this user, you can give this as well. Okay, so yeah, that's done now. So let's click on select here. Okay, so add user to the group, and so you can just create some permissions. And so I'm going to add this user to this developers group. Okay, and you can set permissions boundary as well. So for now, I'm just going to leave that as it is. Okay, and click on next here. So if you see, this is the user name, and auto password is auto generated and everything. So there is no tags. So let's click on create user. Okay. So yeah, now you have created like, I mean, if you have created this username Jayaprakash, and the password will be auto generated here. You can click on this and you will be able to see the password. So you can also like email the login instructions to this user if you want. Like, I mean, you can click on this and send these details to this user Jayaprakash. So we will be using this username and the password to log into your console. Okay. So I'll also show you how to like log in using these credentials um, to the console. So let's try to log into the AWS Management Console to my account using this credentials that we just created. Okay, let me click on login here. And if you see here, if do you want to sign in as a root user or IAM user? So I don't want to sign in as a root user. I want to sign in as an IAM user. Okay, so here you will have to paste your 12 digits account uh, or account alias. Okay, so this is my account ID. I have pasted it over here, and I'll click on next. So IAM username. So this is the username that we had created. So I have typed in that username. The password is whatever was generated in your IAM previously. So the auto-generated password. Okay, I have entered the password as well. So I'm going to click on sign in here. And if you see here, now it is asking us to reset the password. So like I said, only for the first login, you will be able to use that password. So here we'll just paste the old password, and then we will also set up a new password. Okay, I have typed in my old password and also new password as well. I'll click on confirm password change. So, yep. So if you see here now, I'm logged in as an IAM user uh, that we just created. Okay. So now if I try to access any other service apart, so I had given S3 and EC2 access to this IAM user. So let's see if you are able to access S3. Okay. So I just search for S3 service. So if you see here, I can click on create bucket. Yep. So if you see, I'm able to like access everything. So let's see if I'm able to access any other like services. Click on Lambda. So if you see here, it says that user is not authorized to perform Lambda. So basically, you don't have permissions to do anything in AWS Lambda because we had only given this user access to S3 and EC2. So that's how you can create an user and grant access to only certain services in AWS. So yep, this was a short video on how to explain you on how to use AWS IAM to grant restricted access to any users. Okay, I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next video.